Monday. Yeah, we gotta go to town. I gotta go over to Cape. I gotta get me some of them tubes for smokes. I'm trying to get my phone to stay still because I don't have one of those fancy car holder thingies. But what I do have is a pretty tight little spot right here on my dash. I'm gonna try to wedge you in there just like so. See what that happens. There we go. Now, yeah, we're heading to Cape. Yeah, I was over at Muddaddy's chit-chatting. I was like, oh crap, I need to go get some tobacco and some tubes. Because I don't want to run out. And so I decided I'd head on over to Cape this morning. My belly's been acting up all weekend, so I ain't got nothing done. Been laying around the house, feeling like a little lazy bum. But when my belly hurts, I don't do nothing. Even now, it's hurting. I can't help it. I gotta go get my stuff just in case, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to run out of my tubes for my smokes. I roll my own, and usually I can get by with about 20 tubes a day. And well, right now, I think I counted 12 this morning. So yeah, we'll head on over. But yeah, I was over there, and Muddaddy made the comment. He says, "Bob, when you gonna put that boat in the water? Or are you just jacking around?" And I got to thinking about it, and I said, well, yeah, you know, I got to get it legal. Now, we all understand, I'm on disability. I only get a certain amount of money every month. That's just what I paid in, what I draw. Now, the first thing that comes out of my disability is my house payment, and my electric bill, and my water bill. And then I got to get food. And then anything that the dog needs, you know, like dog food or maybe even a box of treats. And so I got to do all that before I can even buy glue or screws or nails or anything like that for my boat. Not to mention the legalities of it. I mean, let's think about it. I got to get the license and registration all put, hold on, ugh, big old bump. I got to put all that in my name now. Now, I bought this boat a year ago, right? When the electric company gave me back my deposit, because see, I paid a $300 deposit when I got my electric turned on about 10 years ago. And I called them up and I said, you know, you guys been holding my deposit for 10 fucking years. Don't you think maybe you need to return my deposit? Or maybe we need to get an attorney and figure out what kind of interest rate you've been holding on to since you keep my $300 for the last 10 years. And I'll be damned, it wasn't about 2 weeks later, I got a check in the mail for $301 and some change. So I told my neighbor, I said, hey, I said, there'd probably never ever be another chance for me to get another boat. So I'm going to take this $300 and I'm going to buy a boat. Would you haul it for me? And my neighbor said, yeah, sure, I'll haul it for you, but I will not haul anything on my truck with an open title. In other words, I had to sign and date my title. So my title has now got 2025. Oops, there we go, we got to stop. My title's got 2025 as the sale date. So it's a year's worth of penalties, which I'm hoping is not going to be too much. Oops, hold on. Y'all falling. Isn't that a pretty nice RV? That's pretty. Yellow Mustang next to me. This girl act like she would have run him. It looks like a girl. Well, see you later. Silly girl. Anyway, so yeah, I've got about three I've got about 3 titles that's going to have some penalties paid on it. Well, I don't have extra money for penalties, not to mention I had to buy the flooring for the boat and all the wood and all the PVC and the rubber roof and, you know, so I mean, I spent a lot of money on this boat so far. And then Muddaddy's going to say, well, when you going to put it in the water? Well, I'll put it in the water once I get the boat legal. Now, if Muddaddy wants to pay for me to get my boat legal, I'd be really appreciative. And I know he's probably got a way to do it, too. He's pretty smart when it comes to all that fundraising stuff. But I've never did any fundraising because I don't really need to ask for somebody else to sacrifice for me to get a legal, you know? So I thought it was a little kind of, oh wow, a house burned down over there. I thought it was a little kind of taking a shot at me. But then again, I probably read it wrong. I read a lot of things wrong. That's why you'd see a lot of my videos. I'll make a video. Now, I love Muddaddy to death. He seems like to me he's one of the coolest guys around. Him and Nuggy and everybody else. But see, they're into that country rap genre, whatever you want to call it, community. And I love the country rap music. But I'm not into artists. I could care less about their beef. It's none of my business. I'm here to enjoy the music. I mean, if AC/DC and Bon Jovi want to get in a fight and argue with each other, it's none of my business. It's the same thing with Adam Calhoun and that Upchurch feller or you know, whoever. I don't care. It's none of my business. I just don't care about that stuff. I like to listen to my tunes while I'm working on my toys, and we'll call it good, you know. But the killer of it is if that's all that the chats are talking about. When I go into a chat, somebody's live stream, you know, and they're just beating the hell out that dead horse. Well, I just won't stick around because I don't want to be. I don't want to get stressed out. I mean, that raising. One more street. All right, here we go. See, they're cheap. That just raises my